Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. In this one we're going to build a weight converter. Okay, and this is just a screen shot of what the weight converter looks like. I'm not going to go into how it works because I eventually do that when the project starts, but I'd like to point out that this is one of the projects I teach in my 100 days of JavaScript course. So we're right here on my website xenotrustacademy.com, and if I scroll down, you will see that I now have an additional course on my website, which is one of the latest courses I published on JavaScript. So basically, this course will help you sharpen your JavaScript skills, as a developer by building a project every day for 100 days. I'm confident by the time you're done with this project, you'll be a better JavaScript developer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link in the description that will take you to the school so you can purchase this course. I want to thank you so much for supporting me. Let's get started. Hello my friends and welcome back to the course. In this one we are going to build a weight converter. So let me just show you how it works. So basically we have input fields for 4 different areas, and basically when you enter a value in one of the area, it updates in the other fields. Okay, so let me just do 120 pounds, and as you can see the value for the other fields are updated. Of course I know that there's a difference between this and this because this one has just 2 decimal places, unlike this one that is very long. But I'll show you why that is when we get into the course. So let's try for kilograms. So I'm just going to say 70, and you see that it updates in real time. Okay, so let's try for grams. Let's do 80,000, and you see it updates, and same for the one in ounces. Okay, so basically that's what we're going to be able to build in JavaScript today. So let's get started. What do we have here? We're going to be working with Bootstrap in this project. So basically the only difference in this file is that we have the Bootstrap CDN. So this is the Bootstrap CSS here, and down here we have the Bootstrap script. So let's get started. We'll come up here and let's get rid of the hello world. We don't need it. Okay, now so for the Bootstrap I am going to use, Bootstrap uses the container system. Okay, so by the way, let me say that we have a Bootstrap crash course that we attached to this course. Okay, so if you go to the very first section, the introductory section, you will see that we have a Bootstrap link where you can just click, and in about 90 minutes you'd have a catch-up crash course on Bootstrap. Okay, so if you're not familiar with Bootstrap, you can just go there and learn as quick as possible. Okay, so but we're going to use Bootstrap to save time in the project. Okay, so we're going to use the container system. So I'm going to create a class of container. And by the way, I should probably bring out my styles.css, and really in my styles.css I really don't need all of this anymore. Okay, so I'm just going to comment it out like so. I'm going to comment it out. Ouch. Okay, now the only thing I probably want to keep is for the body, I'm going to give the body a background color of gray. Okay, and I'll save that. Okay, so that's the only thing I want to do in my styles. Every other thing is going to be using Bootstrap classes. So let me create my container, and inside that I'm going to create a div with a class of row, and inside the row I'll create a div with a class of col md, and I'll do 6. Okay, all right, so the very first thing we want to do is inside of this column that spans 6 spaces, we're going to create our header. Okay, so I'll come here and I will say h1, Okay, and then the header is going to say weight converter. Okay, so let me save that and let's come here. Since we're writing by using bootstrap styles, I can as well just start, styling some of these things. So this is going to have a class of, first off, let's put the text in the center. Then let me save that and make sure. Okay, yeah, so everything looks great. Okay, so let's do a font weight of bolder. Let's give it a display. In other words, we're increasing the font size, so display 3. Let's do a background color, so bg hyphen dark. Let me save that and just see. Okay, yeah, then I'm going to change the text to white. Let me add some padding on the top and bottom. We'll do like 3, and let's save that and see. Okay, so this seems okay for the, let's add rounded, to add some rounded corners here. Okay, then I like to pad this guy down a little bit. So what I'm going to do, or maybe I'll come to that later. So that's it for our heading. So let's come down, and we're going to create a horizontal row to separate everything. Then let's create a form. So I'm just going to create a form like so, and the form is first going to say, so let me just see, type a value in any of the this instruction here. So inside the form, I'm going to create a paragraph with a class of alert and a modifier class of alert info. That's the color, and then I'll paste that in and save. Okay, so let me save it first. Okay, yeah, so this is what we want, and this is actually fine. Then we're going to start adding the form inputs here. Okay, so I'll just come down here and I'll create a div, and this div is going to have a margin on the bottom, so MB3 like so. Okay, so inside this div, the first thing we'll create is a label. So this label is going to have a class of form label, and this first one is going to say weight in pounds. Okay, then let's create an input that is going to have a class of form control like so, and it's going to be a type of number. Okay, and let's save that and see what we have. Okay, so this is looking good out of the box. I'm going to give this input, I'm going to make it big. So I would say, how do you make it big? You say form control, then you say large, LG. So you save that, and you see the height of the input has increased. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to duplicate this div that contains the label and the form a few times. So I'll just come here like so. I'll copy this, right? I would paste that in 1, 2, and 3. Okay, then I'll just modify the content. So let me just look here. So I can just copy this, and the second one is weight in kilograms. Control V. Okay, there's there's something I should actually do, but I'll do it for everything once. Okay, okay, maybe I should undo this thing I did, so that yeah. So this input, right, I'm going to give it a placeholder that is going to say pounds. Let me refresh this page just to show you what I mean. So it's going to say pounds here, so I'll come here and say pounds. Okay, then I'm going to give it a class, so a modifier class rather of pounds. Okay, so this is the class I'll use to select it from JavaScript. Okay, any other thing? Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so at this point I can, let me save and see what I've done. Yeah, so this is what I want. So at this stage I can confidently duplicate this. So I'll just do it one after the other, so everything is, so this is going to be weight in kilograms. I'll copy that and I'll change it here to weight in kilograms. Then I'm going to change this also to kilogram. Okay, so I'm going to say kilograms. Then let's go ahead and, okay, the class also needs to change to kilograms. Okay, so kilograms in plural. All right, so now let's just duplicate this. Ouch, Control Z. So I'm just going to duplicate it twice to save time. This is going to say weight in grams, so I'll just do grams, and here I'm also going to remove the kilo, and here I'm also going to and say capital letter grams, and for the last one is going to be weight in ounces. So ONCES, like so, and I'm going to change the class to ounces, and the placeholder is also going to say ounces. Okay, so let's just make sure that we are good to go. So let me save that. Okay, so we have everything nicely done here. I just want to take one quick look at what I've done to make sure that all my classes are properly changed. So this is pounds, this is kilograms, this is grams, and this is ounces. So we're fine. So essentially we're done with the markup, except that we're going to add some styles to the container itself. So let me expand this. You see, we're going to put everything in the center. Okay, so let me come here. I'll go into the row, right? This is the container and this is the row. So it's the row that I'll really add some classes. So the first thing I'll do is I'll say I want it to be display flex, and I want it to justify content to center, and I want a margin on the top, so empty, and I'll use the highest, which is 5. And if you save that, you see that it comes down. If I expand this, everything is in the center. As simple as that. So essentially Bootstrap has saved us a lot of time in going to write, customize CSS. And if you don't know about Bootstrap, I totally recommend that you check out the crash course we attached to the introductory section, okay, for the resources you need. Okay, all right, so let's in the next video we're going to add JavaScript to this project. Okay, thank you so much and see you in the next one. All right, welcome back, guys. Now we are going to write the logic for our weight converter. So far we've been able to build the markup, okay, using Bootstrap. But you see, before you build anything that has to do with a formula or some sort of calculation, you have to know that formula. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just, since I'm not using my styles.css, right, I'll go to my styles.css and I'll just paste in. So let me just add a comment here and say conversion formula. Okay, so you got to know the formula. So I'm just going to paste in all of the formula, and by the way, the formulas can be gotten online. Okay, I don't have it stored in my head, I got it online. So this is the formula for converting all of the stuff we used here. So the comment actually has to, but anyway, I'm sure you understand. So to convert from pounds to kilograms, right, X actually stands for pounds. So you divide pounds by this number. That's how you convert from pounds to kilograms, and from pounds to grams, this is what you do. So basically, anywhere you see X, just know that it stands for, it's representing this pounds here. Okay, so in this case, to convert from kilograms, x here represents kilograms. Do you understand? So I probably need to, it will make a lot of sense if I paste this inside my script.js. So because exactly, so this is better. So you see, this is all the conversion formula. So from ounce to kilogram, this is what you do, and x represents ounce. You understand? All right, so but I will not want to leave it here because I want my script file to be, neat and clean as I, begin to write the logic. But I just wanted you to know that when you want to build anything calculator or anything that involves some kind of, calculation or formula, you need to first get the formula and keep it somewhere. Okay. All right, so now let's get started. First off, we're going to create variables. So I'm just going to say let pounds be, okay, I actually have a snippet. So variable, I want to create a variable with a query selector like so. So here I'm going to target the dot pounds, and the name of this variable is going to be pounds. Many times when I'm actually doing my video, I don't remember exactly how everything goes. Okay. But we're still going to build the project, and if there are any issues, we're going to figure it out. Okay, but I know that I use let here. Okay, so the most important thing is that you know the difference between let and const. Okay, so here I'm going to get rid of this guy, and here I'm going to put a comma, and I'm put a comma here. Okay, so I am going to create two more variables for the, so this one is going to be kilograms. Okay, this one is going to be grams, and this one is going to be ounces. And we're going to change the name as well, so ounces and grams and kilograms. Okay, so we are done creating a variable, and we're going to have to close it here and save. Okay, all right, now so we're going to start by actually creating the pounds converter. So converter like so. So what we do is we're going to add a pounds event listener. So I'll say pounds dot add event listener. Or just a minute, let me just figure out something. All right, so I figured this may be a good scenario for me to delve into the concept of event bubbling and event delegation. Okay, so basically, specifically, I'm going to be delving into event delegation. So I was about to add an event listener to the pounds input field. Okay, but the concept of event delegation, actually what it simply means is that instead of adding multiple event listeners like to each of the input fields, you can add a single event listener to the parents. Okay, and then you can use the concept of event delegation to determine what happens to each of the child elements inside of that parent. Okay, so it's a very useful concept in JavaScript, and we're going to see how that works now. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add a comma here, and I'm going to make this form. Okay, so this is going to target the form tag, and here I'm going to say form. Okay, so instead of saying pounds.add event listener, I'll just say form. So let me get rid of the comment here. I don't need that. So I'll just say form dot add event listener like so. And basically what I'm interested in is the input event. Okay, when a user types into the input field, and I'm going to call a function. That function is going to be named convert weight. Okay, like so. So let's come here and let's create that function. So function convert weight, and this function is going to take the e parameter. All right, now remember that we are trying to do different things for when a user enters a value inside maybe of the pounds, the kilogram, the grams, and the ounces. So event delegation will help us target them individually, even though we are setting an event on a single event listener on the parent, which is the form. So the way that works is I'm going to come and add an if statement, okay, like so, and I'm going to say if event.target dot class list. Okay, so basically I'm trying to check the class. Okay, if the class contains, so I'll say dot contains, and then here I'll specify the class. So in the first one, the first case is pounds. Okay, and then I'll do something. Okay, so basically I am just going to log something to the console. So log, and I'm going to say oh, this is going to be, so there's a popular saying in my country, Nigeria. People say wahala be like bicycle. Okay, so I'm going to log that to the console. Don't worry about what that means. Okay, but it's a popular saying on social media. So basically, let's expand this guy and let's inspect. Okay, and if I come to the pounds, okay, I need to come to my console first. If I come to the pounds and I type in a number, you see that we have this guy logged to the console. Okay, so that's great. Okay, now what we are going to do now is we're going to define x. Okay, so I think I can get rid of this guy. We don't really need it. So I'm going to define x. So here I would say that let x be equal to event.target.value. Okay, and I'll close that. Then I'll come and log x to the console. So x, and I'll save. So one more time, let's visit our console. So let me open my console like so. Let me write. Okay, it's opened. So I'll come here and I will say 2, and as you can see, 2 is logged to the console. So basically we just logged whatever inputs here into the console. All right, so let's continue. All right, so now I can get rid of this x. I don't need it. We don't need it. Okay, or we've actually used it for what we want. So what we are going to do now is that we are going to duplicate this statement 3 more times for the kilograms, the grams, and the ounces. Okay, so I'll just come like so, and I'll duplicate it 3 times. Let me just separate it by adding some space. Okay, so this is the concept of event delegation, right? We've placed one single event listener on the parent element, and then the children are then we're specifying how we want the event to work based on targeting the different classes in the children. So this is going to be kilograms, and this is going to be grams, and this is going to be ounces. Okay, so let me actually state that this is not how I actually built the weight converter before, but the thought just came to me as I was so but let's just focus and see how this works. So you'll notice that if we come back to our console, right, come on, and if we come back to our console and we type something, and we type something in the kilograms like 2, oh, I forgot I removed the console.log. Oh, come on. All right, I just wanted to show you that the x was actually going to be individualized. So let me just come here and copy that, Control C, and I'll paste that in here and in here. Okay, so let me save that, and let's come back here to see how. All right, so if we type something in the kilograms 2, you see here we got 2. We'll come to the grams, we type 4, we got 4, and we'll come to the ounces, we type 8, and we got 8. Okay, so basically everything is wired up correctly. All right, so I'll get rid of this. Now I would also get rid of all of the console.log. I don't need them. Okay, great. All right, so now it's time for us to apply the formula for the different converters. Okay, so let me come to my styles.css, and you can see to convert from pounds to kilograms, we have the formula to grams and to ounces. Okay, so you know what I'm going to do? I'll just come back to my script.js, right? And I will come to the area here for pounds, and basically what I'm just going to do is I'll just say kilograms dot value, and I'm going to set it to be equal to, so I'll just duplicate this and change it here to grams dot value, and the last one is going to be ounces dot value. Okay, all right, now let's get the formula. Okay, so remember that I pasted the formula in my styles.css. I think it's easier if I actually just put this in. Well, I can actually just leave it here. Okay, so from pounds to kilograms, this is the formula, right? So I'm just going to copy this. I'll come here. You know what, before I'm going to paste this in, I'm just going to copy all of this, and I'll paste them in here. So one, I'll paste them in here and paste them in here. Okay, so we don't have to type it again. Then okay, so let's get the formula for the first one. Control C, and I'm actually thinking of a way to be faster with this thing. Okay, I think there's a way I can be faster. So I'll grab all of these guys here, and I'll put it back in my script.js. So let me just come to the bottom. I'll paste it in, right? And I will comment out. I would uncomment it out. Okay, great. Then since we already have the formula for the first one, which is to convert from pounds, I'll just copy this guy here and I would paste it in here. Okay, of course we can indent it, so let me indent. Yeah, so but what I'm interested in is actually the kilograms.value, grams.value. So I'm just going to put my cursor by pressing Alt and clicking on the different areas, and then I'll just say dot value. Okay, so you see it's going to be a little bit faster if I do it this way. Then for to convert from kilograms, so let me just come here. So from kilograms to other values, I'll just copy this guy like this. I'll come to my kilogram section here, and I would paste it in. Okay, let's indent, and like so. I'm also going to add the dot value. Okay, then for the next one, which is the grams conversion, I'll copy this and I'll go to my gram section and paste it in. Then I'll just add the dot value as well. And last but not the least, I'll grab the conversion from ounce and I'll just paste it in here like that. And I'll paste it in, select, and select, and I'll just add my dot value. Okay, all right, so what I'll then do is I'll then get rid of these guys here. I don't really need them. Well, I can actually just comment it out, so maybe you have them. Then I'll save, and hopefully if everything is wired up correctly, there shouldn't be any errors or any problem. So I'll come to the pounds and let me just type a value. So 45, and here 45, 45, 45. So typing in a value in any of the input field will automatically display the conversion to the respective weight measurements. Okay, now but if you notice, we have like so many numbers after the decimal. That's really not ideal. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to maybe reduce this to maybe 2 decimal places. Let me show you how you can do that. So you can wrap your formula around like a bracket. So I will just do that once together. So here I'll do my opening brackets and I would just close it here like this. So basically I'm just pressing Alt and clicking on it, but if you don't know how to do that, you can also just do it one after the other. So at the end of these guys here, I'll then say dot to fixed. Okay, I'd open a bracket and say 2. So basically what this method will do is that it will reduce the number of characters after the decimal to just 2. In other words, the value will then be to 2 decimal places. So if I save that and I come here and let's just do 55, you see here that we now have just 2 numbers after the decimal point. Okay, so basically you can just go ahead and do the same for the other parts of the weight converter. But if just look at what we've done here, basically we just wrap the formula around parentheses or brackets, and then we add dot to fixed method and set it to 2 decimal places. That's basically what we just did. Okay, so I'll leave that assignment for you to do, and thank you so much for watching this one. I'll see you in the next lecture. Thank you and bye.